The Sentinel is known to be reliable, fearless, disciplined, consistent, courageous, motivated, and skillful.
So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
All these qualities start from the mind. Your mind can be your worst enemy or your most powerful weapon.
The world becomes your library to help you become better at your craft.
Is this the dagger?
Learn how to achieve greatness and tap into the Sentinel mindset.
This episode is brought to you by The Arena. The Arena focuses on helping law enforcement and security professionals achieve their ultimate work experience, curriculum, and fitness goals. Visit thearenatoronto.com.
What's up, everyone? Super excited again because we got a repeat guest. And now we have here Brian Last from Toronto Community Housing. And the difference between last time and this time is last time you had just beautiful, I think it was a Giorgio Armani suit.
I don't know about that, but maybe.
And today you're in uniform.
That's true.
And,
still with a fresh haircut, though.
And it looks beautiful, man.
There we go. Well, I appreciate that.
Fades have to be done at least, once a week, would you say?
For me every 2 weeks, but
Okay.
So I do what I can.
Nice, man. Well, look, it's so glad to see you here. Now, this is a function where the Canadian Security Expo here right now, where everyone can come in, get an opportunity to see the different walks of life, different job opportunities. You're representing today at Toronto Community Housing. I've been following a lot of the stuff that you do, Brian.
Excellent.
Like religiously. You put out some super good content.
I appreciate that. Thank you. As do you. Hence all this lovely branding on point here.
Yeah,
so
thank
absolutely.
you, man. I appreciate that. So as people are navigating, trying to get into a career, and you do get a lot of people that are really undecided.
Yeah.
Tell us about Toronto Community Housing.
Absolutely. So I will say to very much your point, it's super excited amongst other considerations to be here because I'll tell you, speaking specific to someone from Toronto Community Housing, the Community Safety Unit, as represented by the uniform I'm wearing, to be here to have yet another opportunity to really spread awareness to the awe-inspiring work is the only way to put it that our officers are doing day in and day out in our respective communities. Because I'll tell you, one of the oddest things for me, and speaking Brian Last, not necessarily in the uniform, is sometimes I'm almost shocked and dismayed by the fact that our agency is maybe in the grand scheme of things lesser known as far as what we're doing in the work, and just based on the fact of the caveat of the amazing things that our officers are doing. So a little bit about TCHC, you'll come to know us as, if you will. So Toronto Housing unto itself, we're the second largest socialized housing provider in all of North America, second only to the New York Housing Authority. We have about 2,240 plus buildings throughout the entire city of Toronto.
Wow. And
about 110,000 plus tenants. So really, we are working in a city unto itself for all intended purposes. So the CSU, I'll speak to maybe our special constable, front-facing, community-based policing type role, if I can word it that way. We have about 140 uniformed special constables. So a little short version for those less maybe familiar with the world of special constables, speaking for us, the CSU. So we basically exist by virtue of a memorandum of understanding, which is a fancy way of saying an agreement with the Toronto Police Services Board. The Police Services Act allows them to confer upon us policing or peace officer powers, for us, respective of being on in relation to anything to do with Toronto Community Housing owned or operated properties and vehicles.
Okay.
And with that in mind, much like when one would imagine as our officers go out there, they're sometimes put in some very, very eye-opening, dynamic, and otherwise egregious of predicaments, but all the more lending to the fact that really the caveat of work they're doing is there's just an endless amount of stories as to
and it's never the same thing. It's always a new change.
Every day, every night for that matter, brings a new adventures. But what stays the same is the dedication to fostering positive relationships with our tenants, with our communities, being there for our tenants, all in the name of public safety, and just doing some amazing work, up to and inclusive for that matter, solving some otherwise very egregious levels of criminality for that matter. So I really can't praise the very tough but amazing job that our officers are doing.
So this is good. So for people listening that want to get into this, the one thing that as you're speaking, the one word that's coming to my mind is the word empathy.
Absolutely, 100%.
How much is that? How important is that for someone to have that trait coming into a line of work?
It's interesting you say that because I was just chatting with a table full of people that came here all the way from Belleville, believe it or not. So kudos to them for being here for sure. But they're asking me, what type of skills would be good to go into this world? And arguably what may first come to mind for any job in this world would be the quintessential technical skills about knowing criminal code, provincial offenses, all of this type of such language. But it's interesting you say empathy, because absolutely, and especially in our environment, you really do need to come from a place of empathy, more so when always employing a people first approach. Because I'll tell you, and we can't harp this enough in our world, the biggest thing we want to make sure we're focusing on is fostering these positive relationships with our tenants, and coming from a place of empathy in that regard. Because I'll tell you, ordinarily what comes along with that is our tenants, our communities, entrusting in us that we're there for their betterment, and what comes along with that as well is information, intel that can lead to only, really to foster safety in the communities even more so, right? So
no, that's good, man. So we definitely harp on that skill. What should the mindset be for someone wanting to walk into this career?
You know what? Absolutely, I would say amongst the ordinary and usual for any quintessential security law enforcement, interpersonal skills, being able to speak to people. And it's interesting you say that. And just as a complete aside, and in the interest of injecting some humor, so for probably a few years running, I would regularly present our career presentation to all the various colleges. And usually it goes the same. There's a couple people that ask all the questions, and the remaining, 30, 40 aren't saying anything. And I get to the point, much like to answer your question in the fact that interpersonal skills, really how you're talking to someone, your ability to speak with someone, 9.999 times out of 10 is how you're going to resolve it, right? Your de-escalative skills. But the point I always arrive at, if you're not comfortable talking with people, get to a point where you are, because that's the number one skill for sure. And I think anyone would hard pressed to say it's top 5 for sure, man. Right? So absolutely, just and again, coming from that place of empathy, or empathy rather, really much employing that people first approach, 100% interpersonal skills.
Well, this is why the Blue Line Expo is such a good place, because you get nuggets like this.
Absolutely.
Now, for those that are not here today, those that want to come directly and apply,
sure.
How do you apply? Where do you go?
Absolutely. So much like any job, really, with Toronto Community Housing, so our website, torontohousing.ca/careers, that's where you'll find a posting when it is up for Toronto Housing. Or for the Community Safety Unit. We will be hiring. That being said, I believe our next class, correct me if I'm wrong, September class? September is our next class. You heard it first from Staff Sergeant Sutcliffe of our training branch. So absolutely, keep your eyes and ears peeled to the website. Check regularly, and probably your next question. So just for those who will be watching this, as far as the process, in some ways,
what's the process, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. I'm asking I'm just a one-man show. I'm running the whole interview. I'll ask the questions. I'll answer them right after. So in a lot of ways, it does very much mirror policing, minus a couple steps. But obviously, when you see the job posting, you'll apply. What you will as well need, and in line with the fact that you are being conferred policing or peace officer powers, you'll need the OACP certificate, which I believe is OACPcertificate.com will be a starting point if you don't already have a valid certificate. You'll need your valid first aid and CPR. At some point as well in the process, you'll need to do the PIN test or fitness test. And quite simply, you'll upload the documents that you're otherwise asked for. You'll upload your resume. If you're shortlisted, you'll be invited to a panel interview, the quintessential situational type interview. And if you are successful in an interview, you will have to fill out a very thick, intrusive document called a pre-background questionnaire, which everyone loves, but all the more alluding to the fact that we're entrusting you with some pretty high level peace officer, police officer powers. We don't just entrust that with anyone, so we want to make sure we're getting the right persons to fill the role.
Okay.
But that being said, on the PBQ, as we call it, if you're successful there, you'll be given a conditional offer of employment, and you'll be partake in a very rigorous, if you will, academic component in class, and obviously applied and practical skills. And we have a fantastic internal training bureau and a fantastic training branch. I'm not just saying them because one of them is standing there right now.
Yeah.
And then after that, you'll go out with your coach officer. And really in the field, arguably, much like many places, that's when everything you're otherwise learning will really come into play. So that's a bit of a snapshot.
Amazing.
Granted, hit the fast forward version,
let's just talk about one last thing before you got to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about, because you seem to be a man that's in shape. Okay?
Oh, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know.
How important is the physical in this career?
So you know what I mean. Obviously, staying in shape. I mean, just unto itself, being healthy and working out, being active is good for your mental health as well, right?
Yes.
And it helps you de-stress and all the like. But the unfortunate and very unfortunate reality is sometimes you may otherwise get into a tussle where you will have to perhaps put someone in handcuffs or detain someone or make a mental health apprehension. And sometimes you need to exude some strength to do that. Now, the good thing about us, obviously, you'll have people there potentially you're working with that will be able to assist, but not to preclude, obviously, being of sound body and mind and all the like. So, I would say overall health is important for sure. And
you do definitely need to be healthy and physical for the pin test.
Well, that goes without saying.
If you're not passing
say,
that,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian, I'm so happy you came on the show today.
My pleasure.
I think what you guys are doing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you guys lead almost with an empathetic heart to kind of get there.
Absolutely.
And I think you're making the impacts every day. I cannot wait for people to listen to this.
No, absolutely.
To open up another career opportunity for them in the Toronto community housing.
Absolutely. And I will say, just as an aside, while I have the forum here, and I know I've already praised them, but really not enough can be said for just the amazing things that everyone is part of CSUs on the daily and nightly basis. So while I have that forum, kudos to everyone and really to rising the occasion and showing up and doing some just absolute awe-inspiring work for sure.
Amazing.
So,
well, thank you for what
as
you
always,
do, man.
it's a pleasure, sir.
Absolutely.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Brian. Have a fantastic day, brother.
Thank you kindly.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye.
All right, what's up, everybody? We have today a very special guest. Again, now, this is a Toronto-based vet, but all the way from Vancouver,
All the way.
we have Sergeant Cindy Vance.
That's
How you
great.
doing?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Amazing, amazing. And I'm actually really glad that we're getting different provinces to come down here, different environments, because it's not just a Toronto market here. This is a Canada thing. And the thing is, Cindy, that a lot of people are actually, since COVID, have started to openly explore the idea, where else?
Absolutely.
What else is out there?
Exactly.
So
Yep.
why Vancouver?
Why Vancouver? Wow, where do I start? First of all, in terms of the actual geographics and the weather and the opportunities that we have to offer as a city on the ocean, the mountains, the thing we like to talk about is the fact that those that like the outdoors, that like a cosmopolitan city, an international city, very diverse city, that's what we have in Vancouver. It's a major city when it comes to events. We had the Olympics, any kind of major political events. We have lots of opportunities to get involved. And at the same time, in terms of work-life balance, you work one day and you're 4 days off, you could be up at Whistler skiing on Blackcomb.
I mean, we got the CN Tower, you got the beautiful mountains.
There you go. Exactly.
Amazing. So there is obviously a need right now. Many services are hiring. When people are looking to jump into policing in Vancouver, what should their mindset be?
Mindset. Well, first of all, I love this. Mindset is so much, right? And whether it's about getting hired or it's just about your personal protection, having that winning mindset and that confidence, that teamwork and leadership mindset, really that's what we do, right?
Okay.
We're a big team and we're looking for people that want to be part of our family and about our team. But it's also about being a good leader. And it doesn't need the stripes or the things that are official rank. I want to hire people that are just naturally good leaders. They're going to come into this situation, whether they're first day on the job or they're on their 29th year. They're going to come in and they're going to take charge of a situation and take care of the people that they've been tasked to take care of.
Okay. You said something right now that is very true to my heart, and that's the leadership piece.
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of times when people are thinking of like policing, they may not put two and two together. That is, your position is you're a leader to the community.
Yes.
And people will come to you, whether you like to think of yourselves as a supervisor or people will come to you because of that.
Absolutely.
Tell me what your thoughts are on servant leadership.
On which?
Servant leadership.
Okay, well, yes, absolutely. We are the servant to our community. And as we come in, whether it's a call that we're dealing with on the downtown east side, and we're dealing with drug addiction or homelessness, you need to come in with compassion, respect, and leadership, excellence, the ability to take charge of a situation, but in a sense where you're not. It's just not you or the highway. You're leading because people need you to take charge and take care of them.
Yes.
But you're doing so with compassion and respect, no matter who you're dealing with. So when I hire somebody, I want to make sure that they have that core value in them, that they are feeling the confidence and the presence, that they can step into a situation, assess what they're dealing with, and take that leadership role so that people can feel safe and comfortable that they're in good hands.
Oh, that's so good. And Cindy, to me, everything about you oozes passion.
Yes.
It seems to me that you love your job. How long have you been doing it for?
You know what? Passion is my middle name, because when it comes to policing and when it comes to things like women's personal safety, which I'm also involved in, it is a passion of mine. I've been doing this now, it'll be 29 years in September.
Wow.
Honestly, and I say this every single time, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat. It is something that this type of job It's not for everybody, but for those of us that are meant to do it, it's the best job in the world.
And I call you the protectors, because that to me is really what you have inside your DNA.
Yes.
What is the secret sauce for those listening? So we have people that are going to be here trying to get in.
Yes.
But we also have people that are currently in the service.
Yes.
29 years, full of passion. What's the secret sauce to maintain that status?
Oh, the secret sauce. You know what? It's the people. It really is. It's about being in the place and coming into it, surrounding yourself with the right people, and not only the people that you're working with. Having that balance and having a good support system around you, whether it be your family, your friends, both inside the department and inside this blue world, as I call it, as well as outside, and keeping you kind of a bit sane in that department.
Right.
And really just, especially in Vancouver, with all the different opportunities we have within one agency, we have over 100 different specialty units. So following your passion when it comes to whatever that might be for you. For me, I've done everything from surveillance to school liaison to firearms instructing, human resources, helping our members with the training or their careers. That's a passion for me. Whether it be the K9 unit, whatever that might, there's so many different opportunities. You find your passion and you go for it, because that's what's going to make those 29, 30 years go by in a flash and make you feel so fulfilled.
That's so good. For people that are currently serving in Toronto or in the GTA, the province of Ontario, if they wanted to come to Vancouver, is that something that is doable?
That's why we're here. That's one of the reasons why we're here. Certainly, we are at a huge blitz right now. So we have a very supportive mayor, Mayor Ken Sim, and his team, who have tasked us with giving us the budget for hiring an extra 100 police officers this year.
Wow.
So a big portion of that we would really like to see as experienced officers.
Of course.
So we are in a major campaign to get the word out, to let everybody know we are hiring. This process to be hired as an experienced officer is much more streamlined. Speaking to either myself or Detective Jeffrey and Sergeant Oliver, those three folks are guys to talk to in terms of, let's just talk about it, to see what your situation is, what do you have to offer, and we have lots of opportunities. So if you want to come over to BC and change of scenery, we've got spots for you.
Amazing. So I'm listening to this right now. I want to apply. Where do I go?
Go joinvpd.ca. You'll find 3 different areas to go to. So for experienced officers, just click on the experienced officer portion, or new members on the police constable process. It explains everything there as to what you need to do. You can also just click on, we've got our email address, a phone number, give us a call. We'll get back to you, and we'll set up even a virtual process in terms of just speaking with us to ask us some questions. Or, and we can make it condensed as well. So if you're coming from Ontario and you put your application in, we'll try to get your whole process done within a short period of time so that you're not flying back and forth.
Okay. Cindy, I got to say that I love your passion, man. Like your energy. If this is what's representing Vancouver, I need to be there as well. I mean, to me, that's such a good thing. And I think it's so important for the listener. This is kind of also, you want to mirror that. This is the kind of personality that you want coming in. You want someone that loves the job, that's there to help others. They're not looking at it as just a great money, great pension. Someone that truly in their heart wanting to help and make a difference. And I see that all around, and I just met you.
Thank you very much.
I got something for you.
Okay.
So I like to say that you're a warrior.
Yes.
And to me, this is a symbol of basically what you do, and that is helping others. And it's the warrior bracelet. And it's also a symbol for, we all go through life. We all have our hard times. Sometimes we just got to look at our wrist and just give ourselves a reminder why we do. So I want to thank you for what you do, for the difference that you're making. And I'd like you to choose a color of your choice. There's no meaning to the color, but it's just a matter of...
I'll take this top one.
The black one. There you go. Nice.
Thank you so much.
Amazing.
I really appreciate that. You know what? You're absolutely right. Warrior is what it's all about. And I think what you guys are doing is amazing. I wish I knew about you guys sooner. I'd certainly like to stay in contact with you and see what else we can do in the future together.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Sergeant Cindy Vance from Vancouver, thank you so much. I cannot wait for people to kind of just dive in and look at those beautiful mountains coming soon.
You betcha.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Take care.
This podcast is brought to you by Executive Protection Lifestyle Canada. Make sure to drop by next week and don't forget to subscribe.